Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newman Bond, the official podcast of Newman University. My name is Daniel Cubius, and I am a third-year biology pre-med student here at Newman. And today, we're going to be talking about studying abroad with a gal here who has just come back recently from studying abroad. And what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Emily Pachta. I am also a third year. I'm psych pre-med.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I studied in Birmingham, England last semester, so got back like 3-4 months ago.
Cool. So let's start off then. Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like I said, I'm a psych major. Oh, yes. And I am on the Sloppy Joe improv team here at Newman University. It's pretty fun. I don't know if you've heard of us. And I love traveling and everything involved with it, so I thought this would be a great opportunity. Yeah.
And have you traveled abroad before staying a semester in England? Like, have you gone to England before?
I had not gone to England, and I hadn't gone to Europe or any place across any ocean. I went to Mexico in 2022, and that was pretty much it. So this was a change, an experience for sure.
Have you gone to Colorado?
I have been to Colorado. I've traveled a lot within the States. My parents like to travel a lot, but like not outside of that.
Okay, so you were a little, versed in foreign languages then, right?
With Colorado?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, that's really dope. Where did you go to, like in Mexico? Is it just like...
Went to Cabo. And it was like very resort-y, so it wasn't like the traveling that I ended up doing in Europe. It was very just like sit on the beach.
Cool. Okay, so how did you hear about studying abroad, and what really made you decide to leave the hometown of Wichita? I know you're not from Wichita. The little hometown of Wichita to go to a big city like England. Wait, Birmingham, England.
When I was touring Newman, they mentioned it. And that was like before COVID. This was like our junior year of high school, so 2020, like early 2020.
Wow.
And they mentioned it, and then I ended up touring after COVID, and they kind of mentioned it, but it was, everything was so unsure at that point. And I toured other schools, and they always talked about it. It's like a big draw for any school to say that they have any sort of study abroad program. And I just I have older siblings, and they all regretted not doing it. So I was like, I'm in this phase of my life. There's no other time that I can do this. So, yeah. And then I have the St. Newman scholarship. So it literally was like going to specifically Birmingham was the best option because it transferred the scholarship and everything.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So how did you, how do I say this? How did you, adjust to living there? Because it is a huge, difference, right? Like cultural shock, maybe?
I think I was underestimating the cultural shock.
I see.
I was like, oh, it's just England. Like, they speak English.
They're predecessors.
It's our ancestors. Well, kind of. Some people's, I guess, not everyone's.
Not mine, I guess. I'm from El Salvador, San Salvador.
So, I didn't expect there to be a culture shock, and there was.
Can you give me an example? When you came back, what was something that was so different?
The Midwest charm. Nothing beats the Midwest charm. I love it. People holding doors for me, saying thank you, smiling.
Wait, they don't smile in England?
Well, not on this. Well, okay, this is specifically Birmingham, or bigger cities, I guess, where it's like they just don't. You're in your own world, and. I don't know. I love giving a little head nod, just walking by. It's like they didn't do that as much.
Sup.
Sup. Even.
That's so funny. That's crazy. So when you came back, you felt like you were the main character.
I literally did. Every time. So I go to the gym in the mornings, and every time there's an old man that sits, just sitting there eating donuts. He's like, how are you today? I'm like, great. I have no idea who this man is. And it just brings me so much joy.
All right. So, can you give us like a little timeline of what you did to prepare before you went to England?
So I actually talked to Dr. Golden, which kind of organizes all of the studying abroad. She's kind of the facilitator. In like January of 2022, so our freshman year.
Yeah.
And I talked to her with my roommate at the time, and we were like, yeah, this seems great. Kind of just like, let's see what it's all about. And then she was like, well, you need to do these things to get prepared, but nothing like really hardcore, just like getting a passport and making sure you have enough, like your financial standings are okay, basically.
Yeah.
And then the next semester, which was our fall sophomore semester and the semester before I left, things started to get a little bit more real. I went to talk to Dr. Golden individually and just like knew that I really wanted to do this. So I talked to her, and then that's when most of the paperwork was due, was that semester. And it really wasn't, it was a lot different than when she had sent people in the past, because this was post-COVID. So there was just some things that were technical that were a little bit hard to get used to for her and for me, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so it was like, we worked out some of the kinks, but it ended up all working out.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How was your experience working with Dr. Golden?
I love that woman. Like, she is incredible.
She's so nice.
I actually bought her something in England, and I have yet to give it to her, and I really need to. But I'm so excited. If she sees this, I really want to say it. Apparently she collects rubber duckies, but I also heard that from like a source that I don't fully trust.
Is it like even like secondhand tries, like source, or?
Yeah. It was like one of the students that she knows told me that, and so I bought her a Queen of England rubber ducky, and I really hope she likes it. R.I.P.
So you bought her a rubber ducky.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I'm excited to give it to her.
So moving on, let's say, so you are a St. Newman scholar.
I am.
So you live in the dorms.
I do, every year. I'm in Fugate this year.
Oh, Fugate. Lovely place. I've never been in there.
It's quaint. Anyways.
Not that I remember. Anyways, your St. Newman scholarship.
Okay, by the way, I literally made you lunch in my dorm room one time.
Okay. I was just trying to like...
Sorry.
Whatever.
Fugate's really fun.
It is super fun. I've never been in there. So, you're a St. Newman scholar.
Yeah.
And so you live in the dorms. Plus, you also live like essentially near Manhattan. Wamego, Kansas.
2.5 hours away.
So 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3. Oh, okay. Anyways, so when you're like moving back and forth between your house and the dorms, you tend to bring like everything that you need for the semester, right?
Yeah.
Or most of the stuff.
A solid car and a half at least full of stuff.
Wow.
Like rugs, and I have like a little organizer, like a box, like like it has like 6 boxes. Mini fridge, trash can, like a bunch of things,
Yeah. So, but since you went to England,
yes.
Unfortunately you couldn't bring your car.
We didn't drive. We did not drive. We flew. I flew.
Yeah. So you couldn't bring a car and a half load,
did not bring a car. Yeah.
So like, how many suitcases did it take you to bring everything that you needed, or everything that fit?
This is embarrassing. I'm gonna be honest. I brought 3 suitcases. Well, kind of like 4. I checked 2 bags, had a carry-on and a backpack.
Wait, isn't the carry-on and a backpack the same thing?
No, you can like carry on like one and put it above the things, and then a backpack where you just like slide under the seat.
And did you use every single one of those items?
Yeah, I checked 2 bags.
No. I'm saying like in the suitcase, did you use every single one of those items?
Oh, well, no. There are things, but I had no idea. I had no concept of what I would need and what I wouldn't need.
Who knows when I'll use to kill a mockingbird? Maybe I'll need to kill some time instead of a mockingbird.
Yeah, for example, I did read that in high school, so I didn't bring that. But yeah, I mean, my parents came about halfway through, so they brought me stuff that I forgot or that I needed, and they took back stuff. So that was nice to kind of have like a middle man.
Yeah, that's cool.
I brought mostly clothes, I would say, and like some shoes, obviously, because I had planned on kind of buying everything I needed when I got there. So like, I brought like toiletries, like my own toothpaste and deodorant and things like that, because I was like, I didn't know if they would have them there. Not that. That's not what I meant.
That is what you said, though.
The specific brand of toothpaste or deodorant. I wasn't sure.
Is that another culture shock?
I did learn something.
What?
So, the kind of stereotype that British people have bad teeth comes from the fact that like they have free healthcare, but dental care is not included in that. So a lot of times they're like, well, I like have free healthcare. I don't. It's abnormal for them to pay for their health, so they just don't want to pay for a dentist. Is what like a few people told me. I don't know if that's the same for everybody in England, but they're kind of like, you know, yeah. But anyways, the same brands. So I brought some of those, but then I like bought my dorm. All the dorms have some sort of kitchen, so I bought a pot and a pan when I got over there.
Yeah.
And like cookie sheet, things like that.
Were there really like anything that was like priority? I'm sure
For packing or for buying?
Yeah, for packing. Well,
my
buying
Doc
too.
Martens, those are
Doc
important.
Martens. I'm wearing Doc Martens right now.
Yes, they're like that, but they don't have laces, and they are different because they're women's.
Well, these are men.
I think those are probably like the but I think mine are also unisex. I feel like that's most Doc Martens. Anyways, my Doc Martens. I ended up having my parents bring my Alexa, because that was nice, because I didn't really have a speaker, so it was nice. I love my Alexa. I talk to her all the time, so it's like that was good to have.
Is that your only friend?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Cool.
Obviously, like school stuff, like my laptop, or anything I would need for school. I'm trying to think. What's it called? I don't know. Clothes that you feel comfortable in, obviously. Unfortunately, it cost to wash and dry your clothes there. So I was like packing clothes. I was like, I can just wash. Like, I don't need to pack a ton because I can wash my things. And then it was like $5 to do a load, and I was like, okay.
€5?
No, it was like £5, so like $6.50.
Oh, they use pounds?
We've literally been over this. Like, we've talked about this.
I always forget. I mean, they're in Europe, right?
Yes. But
so
like,
you should use euros.
But they're not part of when Brexit.
European Union.
Yeah, they're not part of
I
the.
know.
Anyways.
I'm up to date.
I had bought. It was like 2018. I brought posters for my dorm room. That was nice.
Dope. Okay,
I brought
cool.
my pigeon, my stuffed frog named Pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have a bedding pack, so you can get like a duvet cover, a duvet, towels, hangers, and it's like £30 deposit, and then you get like £25 back if you return it. So that was good, because then I literally had no idea how I was going to do that. I was like, am I going to have a full suitcase full of like blankets and towels and pillows and stuff? But I didn't have to do that, so it was good.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well then, going back to like you saying that it costs like $5 to wash your clothes. What can you describe how like the residence halls were there, and like, you know, just how they're structured? And, I think you can just tell us about them.
So there's like 4 different residence halls. 3 that people actually live in. The other one is kind of reserved for. They actually like you can like spend the night there if you're studying like late on campus, or if you are like if you have a friend coming, they can stay in one of those for like, it's kind of like a hotel, or if your room isn't ready, they'll put you in there, which they did for me.
Yeah.
That's like the lowest level. Like that's the most janky of the dorms. I was actually like alone in my own like 4-person pod, so it's like there's a room, and then 2 bathrooms, and then like a little kitchen.
It's like Beata?
Yes, but it's not a room, it's like a hallway, so like in between your room, everyone could walk through.
It's like an apartment.
Yeah, but you share a kitchen and 2 bathrooms. So I was alone for like 3 weeks, and or like the first few days, I got there before school started, and I literally thought nobody was there, because I like heard sounds, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is there's ghosts. I'm gonna like die this way, but at least I'm in England, you know.
Did you die?
I didn't, thankfully.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for not dying.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, that was like rough. But then the ones that people normally live in kind of vary. The one I was in, it's so you know Beata, and you know Fugate.
Of course I do. Of course.
Of course.
I don't actually.
If they had a baby, this was where I was, because it's like a strip, like a hallway, with like 5 or 6 rooms. You each have your own bathroom, which was insane.
Oh.
So nice. And then, like, all the way down the hallway is a kitchen and living room thing. Full kitchen, so, like, I had a stove, an oven, everything. The other dorms that are a little bit cheaper have, like, the stove tops where it's, like, a toaster oven and then, like, electric skillets on top.
Yeah.
But, yeah, mine was pretty nice. I'm really glad I didn't have to share a bathroom. The other dorms are like you share a bathroom with like 4 or 5 people, and then you share a kitchen with like 7 people sometimes. Some of them you have your own private bathroom. Like there was just a lot of different levels, which was nice for like financial wise, because you can like, you know, if you're like, oh, I don't want to spend that much.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
So, you said that you lived with 4 other or 3 other?
I lived with 3 other, but I think there were 6 rooms total.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure 2 were empty, but I was like trying to remember and I couldn't, so,
So
it was a blur.
Were those also other study abroad students, or were they mix, or?
A lot of the study abroads did the other dorms, kind of the more communal dorms, and I liked these dorms better, so I just did those. So they were 3 English people, very English, like born and bred.
Born and bred.
And 2 of them were twins, so I didn't talk to them very much because they were very.
One person.
It was 2 people, but they were very similar, and I still to this day cannot differentiate them. And then one of them who I talked to a lot more. She was pretty chill.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so, what did like your day-to-day look like there? Like, was it similar to here?
It was similar in the aspects that I always had a nap, right?
One thing about you.
One thing about me is I'm gonna take a nap. The gym, they have an on-campus gym, and it's not. Schools in Europe, most schools in Europe, not all of them, don't really have like sports teams like we do here. So they had some like what we would call kind of like intramural teams. I don't know, or like club teams
like
for
rugby?
like. We actually the only club team I know of was football.
Football.
And it was called netball.
Like pickleball?
It's like basketball. I think it was netball. It's like basketball, but instead of like a basketball hoop, it's like just like a big net.
So was it soccer with hands?
No, because it's like the net is still like a net. Like it's still like a circular. I don't know. I actually went to one practice because one of the other study abroads did it, and I was like, okay, I'll go, and I never went back because I was like, this isn't my thing. So the gym is open for all students, and for those who live on campus, you get like the free membership.
Yeah.
And so you can walk to that from any of the dorms. It's like a 3-minute walk. So I would walk to the gym in the morning. I only had class on Mondays and Thursdays just because I was taking about 8 credit hours there and then about 6 online through Wichita Newman. So I would go to class in the morning, eat lunch at the little cafeteria that they have with some of my friends, and we'd have another class. Mm-hmm. And then I'd just kind of spend the rest of the day doing whatever, go shopping or do studying, like do some studying. I didn't mean to put quotations. I did study.
Some studying. Oh,
and then, yeah. There was an ice cream truck that came near the dorms lots. I never got it, but I would always hear it. I don't know. I don't remember if it sounded like that. I took videos, though. But that was like a way to know that it's like, oh, it's evening time.
The evening ice cream. The evening cream. So then what did your weekends look like then?
Most of the weekends. So the issue with going to England as opposed to like more of like the continental Europe is you're not gonna have that many weekend trips to like Paris or Rome or Prague because it's a ways. I mean, to get to Paris from Birmingham, if you take a train, is about like $300 and probably 6 or 7 hours at least. You could fly, and I don't know what it costs to fly, honestly, but it's not a weekend trip, basically, is what I'm saying. And that's like the closest big city other than anywhere in England or Ireland. So we did a lot of day trips in England.
Yeah.
So like Liverpool, there's a place called Derby right next to Birmingham, but it's spelled Derby. So
Like Derby,
Kansas.
What?
So I would always say Derby, and then I got some dirty looks.
No, yeah, it sounds very country. Derby.
But
Instead
it's
of
like
Darby.
but it's like Derby. Yeah,
Darby.
they literally would say Derby.
Derby.
And then like London, of course. London's
Yeah.
like a 2-hour train ride. And then if we didn't do anything like that, I'd do some studying, homework, and then we'd go out, like get a drink or something in the evenings.
Yeah,
On
cool.
weekends. Yeah.
So, how was you said that you traveled often-ish, right?
I tried to, yeah.
Yeah. How was like the public transportation? Because I know that
Okay.
you've been here. We don't really have one.
I was really surprised though when I got back. I felt like the buses were running. I saw them and maybe it's just because I started noticing them more, but I felt like they were running a lot more, or at least they're trying harder for buses here. But maybe I just didn't notice them until I went somewhere with public transportation. So there's like multiple levels, like Birmingham versus like London, and then all of England versus like the continental Europe. So Birmingham wasn't bad. The bus system, Newman is about an hour away from the city center on bus. And that's where you're going to go for most things. So that was kind of annoying because it's just kind of far out there.
Yeah.
And the buses do take a while, but like they were pretty cheap. So
Yeah.
that was good. London, you'll have a lot more, like you have like the tube. So like it's the underground. It's like a metro, you know, subway vibe. So that can get you, that's way quicker. So like that's why London I would say is a superior public transportation system, because they have the tube, they have buses too. And then, but so like Birmingham has like a tram kind of thing, but it's really only within like a small part of the city.
Interesting. Okay.
And then the buses, and then throughout England, it's a really solid, like getting anywhere from in England, the train system's really solid.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I noticed. And like all of the German and Dutch people that I was with were like they were complaining about how good it is in England, the systems.
Interesting.
There were a lot of strikes though, so you'd have to make sure that you weren't traveling on a strike day.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, what are some like things that you really liked about Birmingham Newman University?
I would say in Birmingham, I really liked the specific like buildings were really, a lot of them were really new, and it was like they all interconnect pretty much, so that was really cool, because you can like go from your class in one building to your class in another and not go outside, which is nice for like
It's like a huge high school.
English weather. Yeah, but it rains a lot there, so it's like, okay, that's good. This is like, I have a love-hate relationship with this, but in most European schools, from my understanding, they do like assignments where it's basically like 1 or 2 assignments or tests at the end of the semester, and that's it. So like we literally just had a biochem exam.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have like constant exams throughout the semester. You just work up to like.
Interesting. So it's like just one huge cumulative
Yeah,
exam.
and I kind of think I enjoyed that more. And if I wasn't taking online Wichita Newman classes, I would have appreciated it a lot. I don't recommend taking online Newman classes in Wichita Newman while you're studying abroad because of that, because I was doing like these anatomy tests every other day, and I wasn't like actually working towards my final exams for my Birmingham classes.
Yeah.
So it was kind of annoying. But
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
so I don't know if I like love or hate that. Obviously, there's also Starbucks. There's 2 Starbuckses. They have a solid cafeteria, and it's not like maybe from my understanding, I had a meal plan the past few years, but like you buy. Oops, I'm touching my mic. Sorry. You buy like a all-you-can-eat buffet kind of thing. But there you could like literally buy like 3 hash browns for like $1.50, or you could just buy a drink or a snack or a chocolate bar. And they also just had they had like a huge salad bar, but it wasn't like salad all the time. It was like pasta salads, and they just had a huge variety of food, and it was all super cheap. So I really liked that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, so then can you compare and contrast Newman University Wichita versus Newman University Birmingham?
Yes.
Like,
again, Birmingham, the assignments are different.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if I love or hate that. I think I learn better.
It is a difference.
With constant assignments.
Yeah.
I think you actually like learn more. But it is a little bit more relaxing throughout the semester. Things I like about Newman, Wichita, definitely obviously like the people. Like I've lived here, got acquainted, and the activities, the range of activities. I found it was really hard in Birmingham too, and maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, but you're not going to have MCLO. You're not going to have Sloppy Joes. They had like a drama club kind of thing, but it wasn't, I went to like one thing. I don't know. It was just very different.
Yeah.
So I didn't go back. But I just
it sounds like a trend right now.
Okay, well, the thing is, it felt like my freshman year again.
Yeah.
Like I was just like inserting myself into everything and seeing what stuck. And if I really didn't enjoy something, I wasn't going to waste my time because I was in England. I wasn't.
Were you in England?
I was in England, so I wasn't
Really?
somewhere. I wasn't. I needed to spend my time wisely, basically. So yeah, obviously, I really appreciate the variety of clubs we have here. I'm super excited for the new coffee shop. Very excited.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah.
When? I don't know, but it's coming
They have
soon.
a name potentially. I didn't vote. I should have.
I didn't even get that email.
It was like on Instagram, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there was an email too, but I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did.
Oh, I don't know if I did either. But yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of, it's just different. I really like having my car here, which is very like, just like America versus England, like being an international student. But yeah.
The car economy. So, if anybody has ever seen your Instagram, they can tell.
At Emily.Pachta, I think.
They can tell that you were studying abroad.
I was abroad.
You were abroad.
I was abroad.
I don't know if you were studying.
No comment.
But you were abroad. So, like, what other, obviously, other than, like, some cities like that you've mentioned here, what other cities or countries did you, like, visit while you were over there?
I mean, I could list them all, but there's so many.
List your top 5.
My top 5?
Top 3, actually.
Okay, yeah, I had like
we don't have
3
that
ready
much
to
time.
go. Edinburgh, Scotland was my first solo trip. Loved it. It's like Harry Potter. If you were inside Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling wrote her books there. Actually, well, some of them. Yeah, and it was super fun. I saw a guy just straight up holding an owl, like for money. Like you could like come pet his owl, and then in a cage he also had like, I swear it was like a hawk. I like tried to get a video, but I didn't want him to start yelling at me like payment. I need payment. So yeah, I did that. Edinburgh was beautiful. I went like in February, and the weather wasn't awful. Like it was a little chilly, but it was probably snowing here, and it was like, just kind of rainy and windy there.
Give me a day, I'll remember it.
I don't know. And also, no, you wouldn't. And then that was like during school. We just had a week off for some random reason. No idea why. It was called like reading week or something.
Did you read?
Sure.
Did you read To Kill a Mockingbird?
I did. I shipped it back from home. And then I did like a month after of traveling, and my favorite place was Cinque Terre, Italy. It's like a region of Italy.
Yeah.
I stayed in this hostel. We got free breakfast every day. Oh, it was so good. We got like focaccia and yogurt and whatever coffee you wanted. Like, so I got iced lattes. It was incredible.
Did you have tea?
In Cinque Terre?
Anywhere, dude.
Oh, no, I'm not a big tea girly.
You're not a tea?
I didn't ever have afternoon tea, and I regret it, but it's like I didn't buy that much food in England, like go out that much for food. the cuisine isn't of my liking. So, and I wanted to save money for traveling, so.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And then the other one, I did some trips with my sister, brother-in-law, and brother came down, and we went to Cologne, Germany, and Amsterdam. But I went to Yorkshire Dales with my parents, which is like 2 hours north of Birmingham, but you can't get there by train.
You gotta walk?
Yes, or you drive.
Oh.
And if you know anything about England,
You drive on the left side.
you drive on the left side. So my dad rented a car and drove on the left side, and I have never been more in fear of my life. He knew what he was doing. Like, it's fine. He did great. But I knew English drivers at that point, and the roads are tiny, like so small that I was just in the back crocheting, like holding my breath, like, please.
How many loops can I go?
Like, literally, there was one point I just remember just like closing my eyes. Whatever happens, happens.
Me on a roller coaster.
But literally just like breathing, like.
So funny.
Yeah, but that trip was really great. It was so great to see my parents, and it was really beautiful there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those were some places. Those were some places I enjoyed.
Before we get on to the next question, I need some more water.
Just taking it. Let's take a water break. 5 seconds for the queen.
I feel like it's been a little bit longer than 5. Exquisite water. I don't think there was water like this in England, was there?
No.
Exactly. So now that you're obviously here, back in our space.
Back on solid land.
Yes, sir.
That's what I keep saying.
Back.
Just because it's just funny. I feel like when people go on boats, they say that. So I just wanted to keep saying that. It's like, yeah, I'm back on solid land.
It's a pretty solid country. No comment.
No comment.
So, what do you miss from Birmingham now that you've returned?
Yeah, I feel like
something that you took for granted.
We kind of touched on that. I will say, the food seemed really cheap comparatively. I didn't really pay attention to the price of groceries before I left because I had a meal plan, so I wasn't like buying like full groceries. But it seemed pretty cheap. I would normally do like a week for like 30 pounds, which was like $45.
That's like nothing.
It's like, why even? I don't know what I was gonna say there, but
that's like $2 of these Ritz bits.
Basically, it's like 3 bags of chips.
No, literally.
And they just had like options that I miss food wise. In terms of like going, like I went to Aldi all the time, and I really liked that. And specifically about like Newman, Birmingham, I had the dining hall or the cafeteria they had was super nice, and just like you could just kind of get everywhere. It was just the layout of the campus is so interesting, and I really liked it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Well.
And then about Newman University here. Now that I'm back, is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what should I answer what I missed or what?
What you missed from here?
What I missed from here. My car. Obvs. Love my car. My car. And I feel like I literally just answered this, but I mean other people, like everyone. I also missed 50-minute lectures. I had 2-hour lectures there.
Okay. I was like, we have 50-minute lectures.
Yeah. So like here we have 50-minute. I had 2-hour lectures there. I don't know if that's how all the classes were, but sitting there for 2 hours.
It's like a lab.
Yeah. And they're talking about like I took like a psych stats class. Not my thing.
Math class.
It wasn't even like that math heavy. It was like medium math. So it was like you have to know all these things, but you can't actually do the math to prove it in a way. Because they're like, we're not going to teach you the maths. Maths. The maths. So yeah, I love the 50-minute lectures. I love.
So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring out my phone real quick.
Oh.
And I'm gonna time you on this.
Oh yeah, because it's 1 minute.
You don't know this.
Oh, sorry. I wonder what's gonna happen.
So I'm going to time you.
Okay.
Right?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna time you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And you're gonna tell me.
Yeah.
The dark side of studying abroad. and
Can
the
I-
light side.
Can
of
I tell a
studying abroad.
story real quick before we do that?
You have a minute.
No.
Okay. 1 minute for the story. 1 minute
Okay.
for the story.
I actually made a little blog called The Dark Side of Newman University, and I wanted it to be titled "Do Not Study Abroad." But Amy was like, "Well, we don't want to like discourage people," and like totally agree. But I just thought it would be really funny to just
That would
like,
be really funny.
"Do not study abroad," and then like people start reading it.
It's
But-
like, oh wow, I
Oh.
shouldn't study abroad. Why,
Well, no,
why am I even here? Why am I doing this interview?
But anyways,
Why are you watching this?
She had a better idea to say dark side of studying abroad. But yeah, that's my story. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Story. All right, ready? On 3. Again, the dark side of studying abroad,
Okay.
and the light side of studying abroad. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. So the dark side is definitely like leaving the semester. What?
You
Leaving
can't.
for a semester and coming back and kind of like not expecting Wichita Newman to stop, but
Yeah.
like you haven't came back. Like you haven't been there in so long.
Yeah.
That so much changed. And I think like rebuilding kind of those friendships and like just like connections
Yeah.
is not harder than I thought. I knew it'd be hard, but kind of frustrating, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the light side, what am I at? Okay, the light side is coming, like, just all the experiences. Like, it's just things that you never thought like, things you didn't know. Touch the mic again, sorry. Things
5 seconds.
You didn't know. So you learned so much that you didn't think it even existed.
Times 3.
What? Well, I'm done now, so.
So the experiences that you never thought would exist. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know British people existed either. So
Yeah, it
it's-
was like, whoa.
After you
I
went,
thought they
I
were
was
just
like,
in movies.
"What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I thought they was just like a made up accent, like in
'Cause-
Thor, the Asgardians. You know what I'm talking
I've
about?
never seen it, so I.
It's alright. It's alright. Just shut me down, I guess.
Sorry. Yes, and.
So, we've been talking about studying abroad for however long. But
40
we've
minutes.
been talking for a while.
Yeah.
So, what is some advice that you would give to someone that is wanting to study abroad or is going to study abroad?
Not that I wrote this down because I knew the questions before. I just put do it, hee hee. That's all. Not really.
Can you, what did you just say? What?
I wrote just do it, hee hee.
Why'd you write that?
Because you should do it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
okay. I would say my biggest tip about it is don't shoot it down. I feel like that's a lot of
Yeah.
things. There's always like a reason, like, oh, I can't because this, I can't because this, and most of them totally valid.
Yeah.
But it's also like they're valid, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't consider it at least.
Yeah.
And maybe work around that. And like we're both pre-med, and I will say that spring semester my sophomore year was kind of the only year that I felt comfortable doing it because they don't have very many pre-med courses over there. If you're a psych major, if you're an education major, sure they have more over there, but like those two, I know they have like definite programs.
Uh-huh.
They also have like theater programs there, so they don't really have that many science programs. So those
Interesting.
three, you're good. Otherwise, you can kind of work on taking your gen eds or your NSPs.
Yeah.
There's ways to work around it, and be prepared a semester ahead to commit to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might be scrambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And what was I gonna say?
What did I write?
What did you write? I don't know what you
don't
would be
know.
writing beforehand.
Of
We,
course.
we didn't give you any questions.
I know. I'm sorry. I was just looking at my physics notes.
Oh. You were thinking, oh,
Oh, I know what I
what's the
wrote.
photon of this?
What's What?
That's our next semester.
I know, but we haven't. Okay. Anyways, keep going.
I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna be real with you.
We were on question 12, I think, if I'm looking at my
What
physics notes.
question? Your physics notes are saying something weird.
Yes,
but
sir.
oh yeah, I was gonna say like
Oh.
how many like you said that you had 8 credit hours there, right? So did you have to have like a minimum amount of credit hours over there, or is it just like
pretty much 8? So there, that meant I took 2 classes.
Yes.
Because each of their classes kind of is about 4 credit hours.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Golden and I just kind of like did a rough estimate of how they do things. I think each class would be kind of different, but for my psych classes, it was like basically you have to take 2 modules, 2 to 4 modules is what they recommend. Okay. So I took 2, which equaled 8 credit hours, just because I had to take like anatomy, and then I took an NSP online, all online, and yeah, that's again not something I would recommend. I would recommend trying to take 3 or 4 modules there, just because you can kind of focus on that better, and the cultural differences better.
Interesting. All right. So earlier you said that one of the dark sides of coming back to the United States is that it's trying to like rebuild friendships and all that stuff. And you know, would you agree that stems from the fact that a lot has happened, and people change?
Oh, 100%. And it was just like, you just don't even think about how long a semester is and how much happens.
So, like, I have changed. You know, I got a girlfriend. Shout out to my girlfriend.
I knew you were going to say that!
Shout out to my girlfriend. Mwah. But do you think that ever since you went and studied abroad, that you've changed as a person, or that studying abroad has changed you?
Yes.
I mean, you do say I studied in England.
Okay. The thing is,
quite a lot. You didn't say that before.
Anyways, the thing is, I like don't want to be pretentious and say it like that, but it's true.
I stay abroad.
It does like change you. Like I'm like feel totally different.
How so?
My cultural awareness and like understanding of different cultures is so different, and I would say like sympathy for different cultures in a way. Not sympathy, but or like
just understanding.
Yeah, and like when you hear someone speaking English with an accent, it's just like they know 2 languages. Like that's insane. I feel like sometimes from small town America, you might get it in your head that they're not as intelligent, which is obviously not true. Like learning another language is insane to me now. Yeah. Like so many people. Languages. Yeah, you're learning 3. Well, you're learning a 3rd.
I'm on my Duolingo for 17 days.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Yeah, French, by the way.
Yeah.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Daniel.
Anyway.
That means... Okay, sorry.
So, like, people just know so many more languages because it's just instilled in them as a young age.
Yeah.
And English is just so necessary to know to get any interaction with like America, like United States of America. So a lot of them know that, even if it's like not their native language.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say just like that. And then like now I just have a travel bug. I want to travel. But like it was funny. I didn't comprehend how cheap it was to travel within the state or within the continent of Europe until I was like got back and I was like, oh, like I should just go to states I haven't been to. And I was like looking up flights. I was like something like Ohio or like Iowa, just something random. Like a flight's $400, and I was like, "That's insane." So yeah, the travel bug is. I'm trying to resuscitate her right now, because it's like, oh, I'm just trying to get through it.
I mean, yeah, you were traveling for like 3 months. So,
yeah, I mean, like I traveled for a total of like 2 months.
Oh, sorry.
But I did a month solo.
Yeah.
And then like the others were kind of solo, some with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, boop, 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 like trying to make sure he doesn't die because of the prices.
Yeah. But do you have any plans of going back to Europe?
The prices are kind of cheap to go to Ireland in January. Wonder why.
Did you not go to Ireland?
I didn't. It was really expensive.
Oh, okay. So now it's expensive. So it was expensive then, but now it's not.
Well, the thing is, like, it was like expensive, and I knew I was traveling for a month afterwards.
Yeah.
So I just didn't. But I think I might go in January.
Where are you gonna go? Or
Dublin.
When perhaps go.
Perhaps Dublin, and then take a train to Galway, and then see like the cliffs of Moher. I don't know how to say it. And then that's pretty much it. Because those are like the two big ones. And then every other place you could take by train, but I would want a car, and I'm not going to rent a car.
That's fair. Can you even rent a car over there?
I mean, my dad rented one in England.
Well, yeah, but like here you have to be 25.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I feel like it's 21, but it could be
here?
like...
No, it's 25.
No, over there.
Oh, I was like...
It's 25. I've checked.
I know, because I can't get a car for when we get to Hoji.
You're going to rent one? Anyways, that doesn't matter.
Anyways, that's besides the point. But, so, we've been talking. We've been talking for a minute.
We have been.
So, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like people to know, like anybody that's listening in, wanting, mayhaps they've been... Mayhaps they've been persuaded by you to study abroad, or maybe they've been pushed away from the idea of studying abroad.
If they've been pushed away, I did not do my job here.
Maybe I didn't do my job.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm reading from these questions that you didn't get beforehand.
The biggest thing, but since we were just talking about money, is like money will always be a factor. Literally always. Like, they'll never be like, oh yeah, like I feel set that I can just spend my money on this. And so I think, obviously, this comes from like a place of privilege because I was able to do it, but don't be afraid of that money, of like spending that money on traveling and spending that money for yourself, because again, like when else can you just move to England for 5 months and, depending on your scholarship, get a majority of your classes paid for, and like the living situations were about the same price. So I don't know, I just would say do it, like I've been saying, because I'm a new woman. I'm a new man. I got this in England. But they changed their name, so they might.
Wait, they changed their name?
To Birmingham Newman University.
Oh, okay.
So the next sweatshirts might say Birmingham.
I've been saying Newman University.
Well, no, yeah, they literally just changed it. I saw it on their Insta.
It's gonna be like St. Francis University.
St. Francis.
All right. Well, with that. Thank you, Emily, for allowing us to live vicariously through her study abroad journey in England. So, you've been listening to the Newman Bond, the official podcast of Newman University. We release new episodes every first and third Tuesday of the month at noon via YouTube. Via? Like Visa?
Yeah, via.
So Visa. Okay, via YouTube. So remember, newmanu.edu/podcasts.